Hello there, rat enthusiasts. I'm RidersDX and welcome to my channel, where today we're talking more about Epic Mickey Rebrushed. And so, since my last video, there's been quite a few things that came out about the game that I want to go over today. But the main things that we're going to go over is that the game was actually shown off at Game Developers Conference, and there are two publications that actually tried out the game and put out articles about their experiences with it. And so, there's basically a demo of Epic Mickey Rebrushed going around, and they got to play it and I didn't. Like, what the f, THQ Nordic? I'm really disappointed in particular because I was really betting on them being at PAX East, because in the past that's where I got to try out like Battlefield Bikini Bottom Rehydrate, for instance. So I'm like, man, wouldn't it be cool if I got to try out like Epic Mickey Rebrushed on PAX East all over again? But just didn't happen this year. So I'll have to settle for these losers that got to play the game, and there are very minimal thoughts on it. But in all seriousness, they all had some interesting things to say, so I wanted to go over them and kind of see if we can glean any specific details about the remake from these articles. There also has been some more leaks about the game, unfortunately, and so I will have a small section in this video where I talk about them, but just like the last video, I'm not going to show the leaks, but it's pretty easy to find, so I'll leave it at that. And at the end of the video, I actually went and asked you all in my community tab what are some thoughts you had about Epic Mickey Rebrushed at this point. So I'm gonna go through those comments and go ahead and just respond to you all. So if y'all want the opportunity to be in more videos like this, then feel free to give me a subscribe. So that way you see my community posts, you can go ahead and reply under it, and yeah, you could be in this video. Also, I am getting old, so I'm not always on top of the news cycle as I used to be. So if you all see any interesting tidbits about this game or any other game that I'm covering, then feel free to DM me on Twitter, DM me on Instagram, send a message to my Discord, and tell me about the news tidbit. And if it's something I want to cover, then I'll be sure to credit you in the video. So that's another way to kind of leave your footprint on the channel, basically. If you give me some tidbits about the game, then I will be sure to credit you. So thank you in advance, and let's go ahead and get into these impressions. Epic Mickey Rebrushed control tweaks reinvigorate a Wii classic by Giovanni Calantonio. I'm sorry. So there's a bit of an overview of the game in the first paragraph, so I'm going to skip that, and then over here it says, thankfully, the Disney adventure is getting some redemption in Epic Mickey Rebrushed. The upcoming release doesn't just bring the Wii game to Switch, but aims to fix more of its glaring problems too. That's a change I expected, considering that it would need a control overhaul to work with the Switch's more traditional button layout. What surprised me though, is that Rebrushed isn't just a simple HD remaster like its title seems to imply. It's a true remake, even if its visual upgrades are a bit modest. So first of all, they're playing the Switch version, which I think is a very interesting choice for a demo. I feel like most demos, they would go for like the Steam version, for instance, or like a PS4 or like Xbox One version, you know, like a higher end version. But it's nice that he was also shocked at the fact that it was a full remake, you know, getting like completely redone visuals. It seems like he is impressed by it. Even if they are a little bit modest, I do like that Purple Lamp is trying to stay a little bit more faithful to the visuals of the original game, since it did come out not too long ago. My demo would take me to a chunk of Gremlin Village, Epic Mickey's second major area. I actually just got to this area in my playthrough. I have been playing the game and I just got past this area. I quickly relearned the basics as I remembered how to use paint to review hidden objects and disappear enemies with thinner. It was a clever 3D platforming gimmick in the Wii era, and it hasn't lost any charm here. I still got the same satisfaction from digging chunks out of a wall so I could jump to a platform on its other side. I will say, from playing the game so far, I really do like that mechanic of being able to paint or thin things. I actually didn't really know what they meant by thinner before I played the game, and having that mechanic to like kind of like build things up or take things down is a really interesting ability to have, and I am starting to see why this game has such a big fan base, because it's just a very unique game mechanically, and I'm really enjoying it. The focus on the demo was less on gameplay though. Instead, it was built to show off Rebrush's overhauled visuals and controls. At first, I assumed that the project was a simple remaster. It looks brighter and smoother than its Wii counterpart, but there are still enough rough edges here that make it feel like an older game that's been painted up. To my surprise, I learned that Rebrushed is a much more ambitious project. Every asset has been remade from the ground up. Everything stays true to the 2010's original design, but it's a whole new game. While that's slightly disappointing to hear, considering how jagged and dated the new visuals can look, I appreciate that the teams at Purple Lamp and THQ Nordic went the extra mile here. So I found this comment to be very interesting to say the least, because he's almost complaining that it's too similar to the original. That's an interesting opinion to have, you know. I think it's fine to feel that way, but Purple Lamp And THQ Nordic, I think, are intentionally trying to keep the visuals very similar to the original, just so it's faithful. And I mean, at the end of the day, this is a remake of a cult classic. So I do think it's important to still maintain a bit of integrity to the original game, even if it does look a little bit dated. I don't know. You're gonna piss off and make someone happy one way or another. I think Rehydrated had like the opposite problem. The visuals were completely redone and almost completely different from the original. And some people like that and some people don't. You know, you can't please either side either way. As long as they look solid is all I really care about, honestly. What's more impactful is the control overhaul, which makes Rebrushed feel like an entirely different game. Rather than using motion controls to paint, I played my demo on a standard Switch Pro controller, using a 2-stick setup to move and control the camera. That's so naturally implemented here that I can hardly remember the clumsy controls of the original. Nothing feels out of step with a modern 3D game where I'm able to freely pivot the camera around while painting enemies. So I will say, in my experience of playing Epic Mickey so far, I do enjoy the game overall, but I gotta say, I am not a fan of the motion controls. I think I'm just at this age, at this point, where I don't want to play my games with motion controls. Like, I don't want to do it. And this game is so reliant on using a pointer to like help paint and stuff that painting honestly feels like a chore, which is unfortunate because I think if I was younger and the Wii was still new to me, I would have enjoyed this. But now that I'm older and I've gotten so used to just like button control games, I really don't have any interest in playing more motion control platformers anymore. I don't mind them in like party games, for instance, like they're kind of like one-off little like bursts of like motion, but having the entire game focus on like these motion controls is just not my thing anymore. So I'm very happy to hear that the game feels very natural with a complete button setup, and I can't wait to try it out. That's pretty much everything that I got from the Digital Trends article, but ShackNews also went on to post their own preview on Epic Mickey Rebrushed. I don't feel like there's a lot more to this one compared to the Digital Trends one, but we'll go through it anyway and kind of pick out some particular points. The demo sequence from GDC took Mickey through Gremlin Village. The visuals are close to the spirit of the original game, but look much smoother through the use of newer hardware. Game mechanics are largely the same, as evidenced by some of the game's objectives. We were still shutting off valves, platforming across emerging platforms, and confronting a variety of cartoonish enemies. Those who hated the waggle-based controls of the old Wii version can rejoice, because the game's combat shifting to the control's shoulder buttons feels totally intuitive, as if that was always how it was meant to be played. Again, I'm loving everything I'm hearing. Goodbye motion controls, hello lazy gaming. Going through the demo was also a nice reminder of Epic Mickey's interesting morality system. Mickey can attack in two different ways. He can attack with paint to try and pacify foes, or he can attack with thinner, which is arguably more effective and works faster, but is much crueler since it essentially ends an enemy's existence. The mouse's benefits will help determine the game's ending, with Epic Mickey featuring multiple. And that's a concept I'm like really fascinated about. I will say, through playing the game so far, I have definitely used a lot more thinner than paint. Like, it's just a lot easier to kind of get through the game with it. But it's very interesting that that's going to impact how the game ends for me, and so I'm curious to see how that turns out, and I might change my mind and start doing more paint, just to kind of see how that differs from using thinner. But again, it's a really interesting concept, and I'm starting to understand why this game is so popular. I'm really looking forward to playing the remake once it comes out. Now, that's it for the previews I saw. If there's any other previews I missed, then let me know in the comment section below, and maybe I can make like a follow-up video talking about them. But as far as I could tell, there's nothing else. So that's all I have. Now, though, we're gonna go into the black market section of the video, and that is the leaks. And so I don't believe that there was like a whole nother separate leak in general. I believe that these things are actually from the same initial leak. It's just that when the initial leak happened, they didn't put out everything, and so I guess they're just kind of like sprinkling more stuff out there, and who knows if there's anything else. But like I said, I'm not going to show off the leak. It's out there if you want to look for it. Fairly easy to find, and it's also very short, so there's really not going to be much to talk about here, but I will kind of point out some observations I made. So this leak actually takes place in a level called Tomorrow City Lagoon, which I don't think I got to yet in my playthrough. It takes place inside this little control room area, and it looks pretty solid to me. I mean, it looks pretty faithful to the original game's art style, and I don't really have much comments on the visuals of it. It also shows off the photo mode, which is pretty basic. I mean, not much to really comment on. However, there are filters here, and I thought the filters look really good, And so yeah, I'm glad that the game has a photo mode. I think Cosmic Shake didn't have one at first, but it got added afterwards. So it's nice to see that's going to be a feature from the very beginning. Hopefully as time goes on, maybe there'll be more features added to the photo mode, you know, kind of things to kind of spice it up and make it more interesting. Just some thoughts I had. That's pretty much everything about the leak, but let me know if there's anything in the leak that I didn't notice, or if there's anything else that I didn't cover. But we're gonna go ahead and move into the comments now from the community post I made. So let's kind of go ahead and see what you all are thinking about Epic Mickey Rebrushed. Dibs3 says, I'm so happy they're remaking this masterpiece. There's tons of leaks online, it's just getting me more hyped. I hope they announce the release date soon. I feel like it's deja vu with Rehydrate and Cosmic Shake all over again. Like, where is the release date, THQ Nordic? Why do you insist on waiting so it's so close to release date to give us a timetable as to when the game is coming out? Like, I can't. It's annoying, it's frustrating, but it's also exciting at the same time. Like, we really don't know when the game is coming out. I'm hoping for like a summer release at this point, but who really knows, honestly? So hoping for the best here. But yes, I am excited as well. VA Returns, a name that I can't pronounce. It looks awesome. I never would believe that Epic Mickey was going to come back in 2024, and it's being developed by Purple Lamp, which did an amazing work with the SpongeBob games. In the end, I'm super excited. And yeah, that's totally the reason I got really excited about this in the first place. As someone who hasn't played Epic Mickey before, I'm really enjoying my time playing through the game now. And to see Purple Lamp get an opportunity to work on a game that's not SpongeBob is something I'm just like personally very happy about. They're a really great developer. They really show their skills with Cosmic Shake in particular. So it's nice to see them getting more opportunities and really creating a name for themselves. They're really starting to carve up a niche for themselves. And I'm really excited to see this niche because I'm all about this niche. Licensed game remix, let's go. Grace Kim, I love you, Grace Kim. Grace Kim says, so cool. And you know what? I agree. Epic Mickey Rebrushed looks really cool. Thank you so much for commenting. CJ Gamer says, I hope Epic Mickey Rebrushed would have voice acting this time around because the original didn't, and the creators said that they made a mistake not adding voice acting, which is why they add voices for Epic Mickey 2, The Power of Two. Would be very interesting to see them add voice acting to this game. If it's anything like what they did Rehydrated, I kind of doubt they're going to add any new voice acting. Rehydrated basically just took the voice lines from the first game and didn't do anything else. So if they're doing the same thing here, then there's not going to be voice acting. However, I could be wrong because they did put in voice acting for Cosmic Shake, so maybe they'll have the budget for it. Who knows? Mustang Sadie says, I want this game so bad. You and me both, kid. Dom says, I hope after Epic Mickey Rebrushed, THQ Nordic and Purple Lamp have the chance to revisit more Disney games and cannot wait to play Rebrush with a controller now. I'm not a big motion control person. I literally just said this like verbatim here, and I'm like, I cannot stop saying it enough. I hate the motion controls in this game. I mean, like I said, I think I would have enjoyed them when I was younger, but now I cannot stand them. So I cannot wait to play this game with an actual controller. It is all I'm gonna say. Mink by Hen Crump says, hype is growing. Hype is definitely growing. I'm seeing so many people get excited about this game. I'm seeing like videos about this game pop up on my YouTube homepage, for instance, and it definitely is giving me a similar feeling that Rehydrated gave me. And I'm really excited to see, like, as more info kind of like sprinkles down into the public domain, like how excited people are really going to be about this game. So I hope this game does well. I hope we see more Epic Mickey content in the future, and who knows what other Disney games we'll see get remade in the future. I mean, obviously based off of this, like THQ Nordic could literally remake anything, and that's pretty exciting to think about. Simpsons Hit and Run? Simpsons Hit and Run? Simpsons Hit and Run? Y'all just did a South Park game, for instance, so like anything's possible. But alright, y'all, that's pretty much everything I have for today's video. Let me know what you think about Epic Mickey Rebrushed. What do you think about these previews? Hopefully they take the demo out to other places. If it's like somewhere near me, then I'm gonna definitely go and try play it, but who knows at this point. And hopefully there's no more leaks. I mean, I feel really bad about the leaks and stuff, so hopefully that's the extent of all the leaks at this point, but who knows? We'll just have to see what comes out next. Hopefully Epic Mickey Rebrushed gets some more news soon and we can start getting excited about a potential release date. Who knows? Who knows? But alright, y'all, it's Riders, riding out.